I realized at one point that I was like, okay, like what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like I need to make this investment. Like the worst case scenario, like, okay, this business doesn't work. But then I started thinking, I was like, well, what if I don't try this? Like I'm just gonna live this life that I'm living now for the rest of my life, and that
Yeah.
scared me crazy.
What was the most valuable part of the program for you?
Okay, I'm gonna be super honest here. Like you've been checking up on me, you've been messaging me, and everybody else on the team, they check up on me. If I have any questions, I ask, and you guys respond super quick. I was expecting it to be like any other course that you find online where you pay and then they forget about you.
Talk to us a little bit about your actual portfolio. How much income are these machines bringing in for you?
So I said it, I've been here a year and like 2 months. I'm at 5 locations right now since I started working with you guys. And I just installed my fifth one just a few weeks ago. I'm making close to like 1,500 on average per month. So that's like 1,500 additional revenue coming from these 5 ATMs that I wouldn't have had otherwise.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Juan Geronimo here, founder of Wealth Streams for Beginners and, of course, Wealth Streams Academy. Guys, in this video, I'm going to be interviewing one of my students. His name is Juan Morales. He's been in the ATM business for some time now and started with me. And kind of want to just give you guys a real life testimonial, someone who's actually real, right? I know you guys see a lot of my numbers and a lot of my ATMs and what I do, but I kind of want to show you guys, everyone else that's also doing this. So, what's up, Juan? How's it going, man?
Man, I'm feeling blessed to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Continue to grow, just like you, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You're almost catching up, man. You're moving at a really good rate.
Dude, I'm trying. I'm trying to make a home run.
It's probably around the corner for you, man.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. Appreciate you, man. Hey, first and foremost, appreciate you for taking the time. I guess just for starters, man, give us a little bit of what your experience has been like with Wall Streams Academy and what it's been like to work with me.
Yeah, 100%. It's been a great experience ever since I started. I think I started on November of 2024, so practically the beginning of 2025 I started. So I've been here for about like a year and 2 months, and
Yeah.
I can't say anything else, but it's been good working with you and the team, and there's just so much to learn going through the training that you guys provide.
Appreciate the kind words, man. And I guess like take us a little to, what it looked like and what it was before, right? Before you even started the ATM business, what did you do for work? And then what made you decide that that wasn't enough and, ultimately, made you want to look into like building an ATM business?
Yeah, for sure. So, I'll start with this. When I was younger, I always wanted to find a way of making money, without having to like trade my time.
Yeah.
And for that, so when I was super young, like before I could even start working legally here, I started putting like gumball machines in like different like barbershops and stuff like that, just trying to make something happen. I then got like a job working driving forklifts once I grew a little bit older, and I started doing that for a few years. I then got into sales, and I've just been working these 9 to 5 jobs ever since I could. I just trying to make some money. But like I said, I kind of been tired of trading in my time for currency, so I decided I needed to take a leap of faith, and that's kind of how I stumbled across ATMs, and here we are.
Amazing, man. And like mentally, now, of course, being an entrepreneur, where would you say that you are now compared to where you were back then, like mentality wise?
Yeah, no, I'm miles ahead of where I was before. Like I said, in the beginning, I was just trying to learn the ropes and just find something that works. So there was a lot of like trial and error, just like seeing what works, what doesn't. And I've ran into so many mistakes. I'm sure it's like that for everybody that's starting off. You run into all these mistakes, and like part of it is you don't know like what you don't know, right? And
Yeah.
so that's also just to circle back. It's just another reason why like joining your team has been so helpful for me, because you guys help me learn the things, or you guys guide me through the things that I wouldn't otherwise know.
Amazing, man. And for you, like, what were some of those things that you struggled with when, like, trying to get the business going, prior to reaching out?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I wanted to get started with ATMs, and so I started doing all my research on my own. I started going through Google, YouTube videos, started looking at some of the posts that other people would upload on social media. And so I kind of had like a basic understanding of how the business worked and all of that. So I was super motivated to get started. The problem was I didn't know how to program the ATMs. I just didn't know how to get them to work and like plug them up and have them actually start dispensing money and getting me my fees to my bank account. So I had a real hard time with that, and I started like doing deep research on Google, and I would find like these product manuals that were like a chapter book. They were just super thick, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
nobody reads these books. I'm not gonna learn how to do this on my own. So I kind of started looking for a mentorship. That's when I found you actually on Instagram.
Yeah.
I reached out to you, and I know you were willing to help me out, and so yeah, that's kind of how I got here.
That's cool, man. And I mean, after you joined, like, kind of walk us through what the transformation looked like, right? I mean, before you were struggling, obviously we nobody wants to read those big books. Even myself, I didn't never want
Yeah,
to read those books. I was never a reader to begin with,
yeah.
read my business. So, like, for you, walk us through that transformation after you started working with us and you started going through the process. Like, how did that impact not only the time and effort that you put into your business, but income wise? Like, how did that change your lifestyle as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you said it perfectly. Nobody wants to make that investment. I guess there's just like a certain fear that everybody has going into a business, and it's just that like fear of uncertainty. You don't know if it's gonna work out or whatnot. And I had those fears also going in there. I think it's just basic human nature. But I realized at one point that I was like, okay, like what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like I need to make this investment. Like the worst case scenario, like okay, this business doesn't work. But then I started thinking, I was like, well, what if I don't try this? Like, I'm just gonna live this life that I'm living now for the rest of my life, and that
Yeah.
scared me crazy. So I couldn't even fall asleep just thinking of that. So I decided to take that leap of faith, and I did it, and I have not regretted it one bit. I've learned so much, and you guys have helped me cover ground that would have probably taken me like 2, 3 years to learn on my own. Not to mention like all the extra money that I would have spent on my own trying to figure it out. So you guys have helped me cover that ground, and so I'm super happy with that.
Of course, man. And, like, how much, like, you could be real, right? How much
Yeah.
time did it actually take you, and effort did it actually take you to get this going, after you started with us?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I was doing my research on my own, and it wasn't really taking me nowhere. When I joined your team, and I started going through the trainings, it took me 3 months to set up my very first ATM in my first location, and then from there, I think the second location came like 4 months after that, and they've just been piling up slowly ever since then. I don't have a ton right now. I've been like a year and like 2 months into working with you, but I've already made some significant progress.
And, like, with our program, bro, like, talk to the people, right? Let them
Yeah.
know what was the most valuable thing to you, right? Because, there's a lot of coaching programs out there, there's a lot of coaches out there, there's a lot of courses out there, right? And everyone's always different, every program's always different, right? But for you, being that you actually work with us, you work with me on a one-on-one basis. Like, what was the most valuable part of the program for you?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be super honest here. Um, when I first was going to join the program, like I mentioned earlier, I had a bit of like fear. I was like, okay, this might not work out or whatnot. And I joined it just feeling like you guys were going to help me just teach me the things I didn't know, and then that was going to be it. But I was super surprised by the mentorship that you guys offered me when I joined. So it wasn't just like you guys showed me what I didn't know and then that was it. You guys just forgot about me. Like you've been checking up on me, you've been messaging me, and everybody else on the team, they check up on me. If I have any questions, I ask, and you guys respond super quick. So it was more of like a mentorship that I've received from you guys. And it feels like you guys are a part of my team. I'm a part of your guys' team. So that surprised me so much. I was expecting it to be like any other course that you find online where you pay and then they forget about you. But it wasn't like that. It was the complete opposite. So that was super cool.
Yeah, I always like to say, like, simplicity is key, right? And keeping things simple, even if it's just, circling back with you, kind of seeing where you're at. If you have any questions, I feel like that will save us a lot of time long term, because then all the questions wouldn't stack up for you whenever you get to the point where you're lost, right? It'd be just like, oh, I had this question, right? It's one of the things that is probably the most important part to me about my program, is being able to be there for you on a daily basis, making sure we're always following up with you, making sure you're being helped. That's one little thing that I picked up from my mentors back then. And, like, I guess now that you've started, bro, talk to us a little bit about your actual portfolio. How many machines do you have? How much income are these machines bringing in for you?
Yeah, so I said it. I've been here a year and like 2 months. I'm at 5 locations right now since I started working with you guys. And I just installed my fifth one just a few weeks ago. I'm making close to like 1,500 on average per month. So that's like 1,500 additional revenue coming from these five ATMs that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So
Oh, yeah.
slowly, like we mentioned in the beginning, I'm slowly trying to catch up.
Yeah, man, 1,500, bucks a month at the end of the year, that's an extra $18,000 a year, right? You're pretty much giving yourself an $18,000 yearly raise, right? On top of your income with five machines. So that's pretty dang cool. And over the next 6 to 12 months, where do you see yourself, man? Now that you've gained the experience, you've gained the knowledge, you know everything about the business and how to run it, how to scale it. Like, where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. It's an extra 18,000 that I made in a year. I just essentially gave myself an $18,000 raise on top of my income that I was making. And so from here I kind of just want to rinse and repeat that. Oh, that came in 1 year. So I'm excited to see like what the next 2, 3, 4 years has in store, and I want to replicate that. And now that I've like found kind of like the pathway to do it, it's gonna be simple to just rinse and repeat. So I'm hoping to duplicate that for this upcoming year, get at least another five locations, and then
Yeah.
just see what comes from it.
No, yeah, for sure. It's like a snowball effect. It starts all small and slow, but as it gets, bigger and bigger and it rolls down the hill, collects more snow. So it's like the same thing with your business. Eventually in the beginning, you're building one machine, and with your income, you help buy your second one. Eventually you'll have two, three ATMs that are making enough income to buy your fourth. And then you have all four that buy your fifth. And then eventually the business just reinvests back into itself. So that's always pretty cool, man. And before we let you go here, man, because that's pretty much it for this testimonial, man. If you had to like talk to yourself back whenever you were starting, right, when you had those fears, you had that uncertainty, whether you were an overthinker or whatnot, what would you tell yourself back then?
I would have told myself to not have the fear hold me back. When I first got the idea of starting the ATM business, it was probably like 3 or 4 years before I actually joined your team and before I actually started taking action. So now that I've had this success in that first year, I think back to what would have happened if I would have started this like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. So my advice to myself would be just take action. Don't let fear hold you back. And if you're thinking of like, what if this doesn't work out? You need to reframe that and think, what would happen if I do achieve my goals? What would my life look like? And that's super more motivating than the fear is of not having success.
Yeah, because had you not started your business, you wouldn't have had this $18,000 yearly raise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what could you do with an extra 18 grand? Buy a car. You could do so much, right? Live more free, right? Not have to worry about a 9 to 5. So that's amazing, man. And I guess just to end it off, man, some words of encouragement, words of motivation for the people watching right now. Like, let's just say, the person watching right now is a bit of an overthinker themselves. They have a little bit of a fear of failure, maybe some uncertainty. What would you tell them, right? Just based on your experience, based on, your journey.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that holds you back is your fear. You're the only one responsible for changing your future, and you're also the only one responsible for holding yourself back. So don't let fear hold you back. Take that action that you want to take now. And just when you do take that action, just make sure you give it all you got, and every single day come in putting 100% effort.
I love it, man. I love it. Hey, well, Juan, I appreciate you, man, for jumping on. Definitely means a lot, to share your words and, let the people know what it's like working with me, right? Because, my numbers are nice and all. I've been in the business for 6 years, but I want people to also see, what other people are doing across the country, right? So I'm excited, man, for the next year to come for you. Maybe next time when we jump on a call, instead of having, five ATMs, you're gonna have freaking 10 or 15, right? So I appreciate you, man. For every single one of you guys watching, there's gonna be a ton of my student success stories that I'll have somewhere around, in all over my pages. If you guys have any questions, you guys could always reach out to me. Let me know if you guys need help. I have a ton of resources as well that are free, so feel free to reach out. Other than that, Juan, I appreciate you, man. We'll see you
Man,
soon.
thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
of course. Peace, guys.